Hello, everybody, and welcome to this session of Business Bitesize. So I'm having lots of conversations with business clients about their people and how their people are at the moment. And we're coming out of pandemic, coming out of lockdowns. People have been working from home. There's been lots of challenges. And I think it's fair to say that lots of people are pretty tired and maybe getting close to burnout. And we need to think about how we handle that. So these are the sorts of things I'm hearing from my clients. And one of the things that we're looking at doing and talking to people about in connection with this, in terms of helping to support their people, is the belief behavior model, which we use. And the way this works is it starts, the model is A, B, B, C. So hopefully relatively easy to remember. And it starts with an activating event. So that event might be, for example, we have a meeting with the team or an individual, and we say, actually, now we're back in, we need to grow sales by, let's say, 250,000. So there's an activating event. There's some sort of a trigger. What happens with B1 is that triggers a belief. So the individual member of the team might be sat there thinking, there's just no way we're going to do that in the current environment with everything that's going on and so on and so forth. It's just not going to be possible. But they don't vocalize that in the meeting, or they don't vocalize that with you, but it's a belief that they have in their head. What that belief does is determines what happens next, which is the behavior. So that kind of limiting belief can trigger some self-sabotaging behavior. So the behaviors that we carry out as a result of that belief are pretty much guaranteed not to achieve the target. So we want to increase sales by 250k. If our belief is that it's not possible, then we won't necessarily demonstrate the right behaviors. So it's a belief that limits us, and that leads to the consequence. So the consequence is a failure to achieve the target. So what we can see here in this model is it's the belief, it's the limiting belief that's triggered by the activating event that's really important. So if we're able to understand those limiting beliefs, people feel they can't make the sales, and we need to dispute that. So that becomes the D in the model. So we need to dispute that, but we need to dispute that in the right way. So we need to ask some questions. What makes you think that's the case? And then we need to, for example, and find evidence to support the belief. So have we tried to achieve this level of sales before and succeeded? Have we tried to do it and failed? So what evidence is there for this belief that we won't be able to achieve it? So we need to dispute that, but not in a aggressive way, obviously, just to challenge what's going on there. And then that leads us into the final part of the model, which is to come up with a more useful belief. So we need to replace that belief with the exposition of another belief, which is more useful. So then we can explore, perhaps the conversation goes down the line of, well, what steps do we need to take? What can we do? How have we succeeded with this in the past? I've managed to do this, so perhaps I can support you and help you and take you through the process. We can agree a plan, and then I can hold you accountable to that plan. How does that sound? So what we're doing here with this model is trying to understand what the limiting beliefs are, which are likely to stop people demonstrating the right behaviors and will have potentially the wrong consequences. And it's the belief in that model that's important. So we need to listen to the language. And when people start saying that won't work, it will never happen, those kind of things, that suggests that there's a limiting belief there that we just need to challenge and open up and have a conversation around and try and replace that belief with a more positive one that's going to be much more helpful in terms of achieving the outcomes. And as I said at the start, I think we're just aware that those kind of limiting beliefs seem to be around a bit more at the moment, simply because of all the circumstances. So it's something to watch out for, something to be aware of, and something to try and tackle early on to help get the right results. Thank you for listening.